I found that every time I've started feeling a little bit content or comfortable with where I'm at in business and in my personal life, God will make something go wrong again, whether it's in business or in my personal life, just to sort of shock me back into action and get me to really get back on the horse and dial back in. And I never complain about this, right? Because if it wasn't for that, I would never be able to learn and grow and sort of move past the barriers that I've set up for myself. So I never complain. And a perfect example of this, sort of a story recently that happened, is that we just finished our second high ticket launch ever for a client. We netted around 42K rev, and a lot of that was profit as well from our sort of main flagship client. Feeling super good after the next 2-3 weeks following that sort of launch. I felt like on top of the world. Wasn't really working that hard though. I was sort of going back and forth between my business partner, talking about what should we do next, but there wasn't a whole lot of action, right? Then, all of a sudden, we get sort of a text from the creator that we're helping. He says, "Yo guys, I've just had a dispute go through to our payment processor." So this guy who spent 3.5K on the mentorship that obviously we were offering and we were selling in the high ticket launch has just basically disputed that offer after we've already done fulfillment for him, delivered on it, and provided him with everything that we agreed upon, essentially, right? So we were now out of money. If this dispute went through, we would have been out of money because we'd already invested a lot of the money that he'd given us into the fulfillment process. That's how we do for every single one of the people who buys the mentorship. So we start freaking out, and then we remember that, we can just submit evidence. It's fine. No problem. We've got evidence of this guy literally saying on text, "Hey, by the way, if you, I will never ask for a refund, man. Thank you so much for giving me everything that you've given me so far. Loving the fulfillment side." We've got all these texts from him, right? And he still decided to go through with the dispute. So we're like, okay, no problem. We'll submit this evidence. It'll be a done deal. We don't have to worry about this stuff, essentially. So we go to submit the evidence that we've compiled. We take around 24 hours, and then we check back on the main page where we'd submit the evidence, and it's showing up that the evidence has already been submitted, but there's nothing there. So some sort of bug with the payment processor occurred. We weren't able to submit our evidence anymore. And what followed was around 2 to 3 weeks of us going back and forth with these payment processor people, begging them to basically allow this money to be sent back to us. We're saying, hey, we're going to be out of money here. Even though we just made 42K previously rev generated from the last offer, it's like a psychological thing. It hurts a lot more when you lose that money, right? Opposed to whatever you gain. So we were going to lose basically the 3.5K. The payment processor was not helping whatsoever, and we basically just wasted 3 weeks of our time trying to fix this thing, trying to get it sorted. It was stressing us out. No work was completed. All we cared about was basically fixing this issue. And after a certain point, everyone in the team just agreed, hey, this is not worth it. It's dragging on too long. We need to do something. So that was sort of the action that spurred us to then relaunch this offer at a lower ticket and then start generating more money, right? So we relaunched that offer straight afterwards at a lower ticket with less fulfillment, so that we had to work less basically, and we were able to make back obviously more than whatever this guy disputed us for, and then some, right? So we fixed the issue. But after that point, we were a lot more wary about disputes. We were a lot more sort of not wanting to go through that whole process again, and it shocked us back into a gear of, okay, let's get back to work. When's the next high ticket offer launch? When's this happening? When are we going to be moving forward? If it weren't for that dispute, this guy just being a complete idiot and basically trying to scam us after we'd already done fulfillment for him, then we wouldn't have been able to sort of get back on the horse and dial back in, right? So it sort of goes back to what I'm saying. Never sort of complain about these things happening in your life, because usually it happens for a reason, even if it feels terrible. When that guy disputed that amount, everyone in the team was just so depressed, especially when we found out we would never be able to get that money back because we'd already done fulfillment. This guy was a complete loser. He was basically just continually saying ha ha ha, joke's on you. I was able to get the money and you guys basically got scammed, right? So it sucked. Like, we didn't like the experience at all, but it helped us basically move forward with this offer and be able to like dial back in and really lock back in with the next offers that we were launching. So it's just that whole thing, that whole premise of never complaining about having these bad things happen within your life, because usually what will happen is that they're on the heel of a good thing happening, right? So there's like ebbs and flows. If you're experiencing something bad right now, usually what's going to happen is that it'll be preceded by a good thing occurring, right? And similar thing, if you've just come off a huge high, a huge wave, maybe an offer did really well that you're offering, maybe something went like great, you sold a bunch of info in the first like month of launching with a new creator, and then the next month you don't go so well. But that's how it works. Like, if it just kept going up and up and up, you wouldn't really be able to grow from that, right? Because eventually it's going to flatten out, and now you have no experience of actually overcoming sort of problems. You've got no problem solving. It's just like all you've been used to is just up, 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 and now you actually have to deal with the real consequences of, okay, how do we scale this thing? What's the next step? So never complain about those sort of bad things happening within your life, because usually what happens is that they're straight away proceeded, I should say, by a good event happening. But yeah, that's basically everything I want to do to yap about on here. Make sure I'm going to link my X in the description of this, my Twitter. So make sure you follow me on there. I tweet every single day, and yeah, expect more videos soon. Bye-bye.